Is it kind of like when you're a showrunner, you have to decide how every part leads into each other?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
So it's like let's say you have like an A-list artist, right? They usually have like a team behind them. So they have like a music director, like lighting, they have a sound team, whatever. So usually everything, you have to remember, like at the core of these performances, these artists, these tours, everything, it all boils back to the music. So it's like it's got to start there. Like usually what will happen is, I mean, it's not the same case for everyone, but this is like a general explanation.
General
so
rule,
usually it starts out with like the music director, and they'll be like, all right, they'll talk with the artist, figure out like a set list, figure out how they want everything to flow, and then from there, either they'll do it themselves or outsource other people to do it. But they'll outsource people to do like what's called music programming, as I've been talking about, which is like the live arrangements aspect. So for people that don't know what that is, essentially it's taking a song and making a live version of it for like a band, or for a band that would be playing at a concert, or just for just to enhance the live experience.
Is there, how important is it? Like, one of the things that I've noticed, people don't really understand what's producers, arrangers, things of that. What's another one? Oh my God! Especially like when it's live, arrangers, and what's the other word?
Programmer.
Thank you, programmers. Yes, they don't know many of them. Is there a reason for that? Like why it's not as flashy and people don't want to become them?
Well, it's because it's something that a lot of people don't know about because they're not getting credit for it.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's something that doesn't always show up on the credits because it's something that's being done like for a tour. So like you won't see their name in the credits for the song because they didn't do any actual work on that song. They just made the live enhanced version of it for that artist's tour or
for
whatever,
the event,
right? And usually you don't get like a credit or anything.
There's
no award shows for tours, right? So that's definitely something I've heard some peers of mine like talk about and discuss about, because it's just like, okay, I've done all this work, and it's like a lot of outsourced work like what I'm doing, but it's tougher to like prove that you've done it because it's like there's no written thing that said, oh hey, I did this with this artist. Because it's like I always feel like somebody's gonna think I'm lying whenever I'm saying I'm doing this, because it sounds like a niche thing, and it sounds like it's something that could be made up. It's like, no, like I'm doing this for real. Like it's part of the reason I'm able to do music full time at 24 in Minnesota of all places. So
how has that been, especially growing up around here trying to be a musician and not even to mention a producer and things of that nature? And not even, I was about to mention this earlier, I feel like the only one that just started becoming like mainstream and famous is a guy like Metro Boomin, where he's been like actively been a 1 and a 2 punch with a lot of like famous rappers like 21 and Kendrick and things of that nature. Do you think it's a benefit that he's becoming more out there, more?
Yeah, definitely, because I think producers know music best.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it's like a lot of your favorite artists have a great producer behind them. Like Michael Jackson had Quincy Jones. Michael Jackson would not have been the Michael Jackson that we know of today without Quincy Jones's mastermind. You know what I mean? Like Michael Jackson, he would have still been super talented, but like we wouldn't have had the quality albums that we would have.
Do you want to know what's funny? I was literally just listening to Shabuzi's Tipsy song. Literally, it's just playing on regular TV. It feels like the whole room is surrounded with the song. And if you don't have that element, I don't think that song goes as absolutely bonkers as it did. Because the average individual doesn't know what's happening. They just know that they like that's all they have to it.
Even with the cool thing with that song, because that was the song I got to do for his performance at the BET Awards. So I actually, so when you like arrange or program a song, in a lot of situations you'll get the actual like individual track pieces from that song. So I have like the guitars, all the drums, everything, so that way I can do or whatever I need and have whatever I need to use for this live production. Like if I want to take out like the drums or the acoustic guitar at some point, I can turn that off or bring it back in.
Change the type of guitar it's in there.
So like it was cool to like just hear the sonics and how they just put everything together. So I just love that aspect of just arranging, because you just get to dive deeper into the song. And it's real cool. So
how many lines is that song?
Like, what do you mean?
Like how many? Like when you're producing it, there's a specific drum, there's specific guitar, specific vocal.
Yeah, I mean, with that one, all these parts are called stems, right?
Yeah.
So there's a difference between like stems and multi-tracks. So multi-tracks would be like all the lines that you're talking about, like every individual drum, every individual guitar, every single thing. Stems, it's like you'll have like a drums group, you have a guitar group, so it's like more groups. So rather than getting like all the tracks, I got like 10 groups of stuff. But those things can, as you add in layers to add more depth to everything, like they can get up to 50, 70, 100 tracks on a thing. Like even with just the music programming stuff, like even the stuff that I'm adding will end up being like 100 tracks or so, because you're adding in all these cinematic sound and effects and everything, all the different melody sounds, layers, synths and pads and everything, just to make everything sound full. So,
and the thing that kind of gets me like so confused, especially when it comes to producing, I was watching a lot of interviews before this, and there's a couple producers that has been having the same tracks for the past 50 years amounts of just hardware from 1980 till now, and they haven't lost nothing. It's literally just a hard drive of all the individual files. Just like, that's crazy. So yeah, no, that's wild. How diligent you have to be, and you start noticing a lot of songs. Not that they're similar, but they all come from the same web in a sense.
Yeah. Like a lot of people are using the same like drums, the same synths and whatever. Especially drums. I feel like drums get reused the most often, but that's always been the case. Like in the 80s, you had drum machines that came out, and you only had so many drum machines and stuff. So it's like everybody was using the same kind of sound. So it's like whenever new technology gets introduced, you start to get new sounds and stuff. But even right now, a lot of people are using this website called Splice.
Okay, yeah.
So essentially what Splice is a website where you can get like drums or like even melodic samples and stuff. So for example, one of Sabrina Carpenter's songs was built off of a melodic loop off of Splice, where it had like the guitars and everything already in it, and the producer just had to add like drums and everything, and then the song was pretty much done.
Oh wow.
So it's just like there's a little bit of controversy, because it's just like, okay, did he really produce it?
Yeah. So. Is that cheating because he wouldn't just got these presets
exactly
put in?
So
okay,
for me personally, I like to try to be as original as I possibly can. And so the only time I'll go out to Splice is usually for just drums in general, or if there's something that I can't do myself, like play a guitar, or if there's like a realistic sounding drum loop that I want to use, but like I don't have a studio at home where I can just record drums. Do you notice, specifically for you, when someone is using a track versus them actually going and getting a drum and just it depends on the song, because like a lot of times drums can just be like playing the same thing the whole time. I feel like it's more noticeable if it's like a melody or something, because sometimes I'll hear a song and I'll be like, oh wait, I've heard that melody on Splice before. Or like or be the other way around, like I'll hear a song and be like, oh man, this is a cool song, super killing, right? And then I'll go on Splice later and I'll hear the same exact melody loop that I'll be like, oh, they got it from Splice. And I'm like a little disappointed, because I was like, dang.